Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Hour Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give you a guide for Kefka level 20 Escalation challenge. Kefka is weak to fire, ice and lightning, however I wouldn't recommend fire here because Kefka has two phases. First lightning gauge and then ice gauge, and there's nothing in the battle that requires fire, so it would be just another element that you have to debuff. And also Kefka fully buffs his elemental resistances, and you absolutely need to bring something to nullify and debuff them to just be able to deal damage. And he is also immune to attack and defensive debuffs, so you need higher magic defense stats and high MDef buffs to protect yourself. And at the beginning of the battle there is a sigil phase, but it's a very easy one as it has combined sigils, so you can easily break it with two characters having those sigil boost slots. And then last but not least, Kefka has few attacks, and when you see Forsaken, this attack has fixed damage and it will do 12,000 damage to you, no matter if you are in offensive or defensive stance, so unless you are planning to immediately heal afterwards, there is no point to switch to defense on that attack. His other charge attack, however, Light of Judgment, it deals around 9-10,000 damage when you have high magic defense buff and higher magic defense stats. So that means you don't have to stack your HP very high for this battle, and you can just keep it around 12-13,000. And also, this battle is a DPS race, and ideally you want to deplete both lightning and ice gauges in time in order to stun Kefka, so you have additional time to deal more damage and recover, because after depleting the second gauge, the ice gauge, Kefka will start charging greater Light of Judgment, and this attack will kill you. And if you have characters with reprieve, they will survive, but Kefka will start to immediately charge it again. For level 20 Kefka you need 2 DPS, because 1 DPS character won't be enough unfortunately, but you could also bring Cait Sith with his limit break weapon, and he can be a viable lightning DPS, and with his enfeeble you also have a nice DPS boost throughout the whole battle. But Tifa is also a great ice DPS and she would work very well with Cait. But if you pulled on Tifa's Kirin set, she'll also be a great magic lightning DPS, and you could also pair her with Yuffie being magic ice DPS, and Yuffie could also buff your magic defense with her Bahamut weapon. But of course, Aerith with Tarot and Camera is just like last time, the perfect healer, but now we have Matt with Theoplaeus as a very good alternative for physical teams, with Nautilus debuffing both ice and lightning, exactly what you need. And also I'm mentioning all those other characters and teams because we have some very nice team options depending on what you have on your account, and also because this is my team and I have Zack, Matt and Cloud, and I know many people don't have Zack from Monster Hunter event and crossover. However, my issues, I only have Cloud, who is my physical ice and lightning DPS, and he can't do both. And I also don't have any magic lightning DPS at all on my account. So this is the only team I can do this battle with, but as I mentioned, Tifa is a great physical ice DPS, and you could have Cait, Zack or Cloud with Murasame as lightning DPS, and it should work very well. And initially, when I first cleared this battle, I had Zack with Exploit Weakness, and then Cloud with Lock, and they both had opposite elemental materia to support breaking those elemental gauges, and it also worked very well. So if you have one dedicated elemental DPS with Exploit Weakness or elemental damage buffs, it will be pretty much the same exact battle. But also my Nautilus is still only OB4, so ideally you want to have either Nautilus or Terrarot at least at OB6 for those high potency debuffs. It will just require less AEB to fully debuff elemental resistances, and you'll be able to do more DPS and faster. And also my Zac and Cloud have maxed out overspeed and Matt has level 4. And I tried to lower my stats a bit, but this battle has high DPS requirements, so with my team as it is now, I'm cutting it very close and I'm finishing Kefka off just before his final attack hits. Matt has Dark Knight outfit with Gigantic Shield, and I also recommend Gigantic Shield just in case, to ensure that your magic defense is always buffed. There are players for buffs and heals, Nautilus to debuff elemental resistance, normal ultimate weapon, and it is a very nice heal that you can use when you need it. Single target cure just in case, and 2 stat sticks with heal and magic defense, and then sub-equipment slots, 2 guild weapons with magic defense for allies, and Bramble Spine with heal and magic defense. Zac has Lightning Arcanum outfit with Judgment Bolt, Zenogre for DPS, Pressure for Ice Gauge, normal ultimate weapon, Exeter in boost slot, and 2 stat stakes with physical attack and magic defense, and in sub-equipment slots, Heavy Hauser, Radiant Lance, and a weapon with physical attack for allies. Cloud has Ice Arcanum outfit with Shiva, Stream Saber for DPS, Murasame for Lightning Gauge, Ultimate, Circle Sigil in boost slot, and 2 stat stakes mainly with magic defense, and then in sub-equipment slots, Enemy Launcher, Automatic, and T03N to max out physical attack and boost his physical ability potency. Alright, at the beginning of the battle, buff your magic defense, and with your 2 DPS just normal attacks, so they don't sit on full AB, but on Forsaken, don't switch to defense, there is no point. It's fixed damage, so it doesn't matter, but also don't heal immediately afterwards, because Heartless Angel always brings down your HP to 1, but as soon as your gauge maxes out, do double heal with mats. So switch to defense, heal, switch back, switch to defense, heal. And those 2 heals, they will be enough to survive. It'll be close, but it'll be enough, so that's fine. And unfortunately Zac's attack didn't connect, so that's fine. But here again, don't heal because Heartless Angel comes afterwards and there's no point. But you can time your heal, because ideally you want to heal during the sigil phase enough so everyone is above 50% HP. And the reason why is you want to start debuffing those elemental buffs here. Alright, just try to do a little bit DPS. Alright, here buff magic defense because it expired, because now Hyperdrive, it targets one random character and debuffs their magic defense. It's -5 if you didn't have any buffs, but ideally you want to nullify that debuff as quickly as possible, so you don't take too much damage, and it's a random target, so you can just retry the battle and start again and wait for someone else to get target, because when Matt is target it can be a little bit tricky, because he has to be above 70% HP to be able to buff magic defense. That's alright, almost there. And wait for the stun, and now just do triple summon and limit break for that highest damage, but just wait until Kefka is stunned, otherwise your Shiva won't do any damage. And you also want to deplete this gauge in time before it disappears, so Kefka is stunned for those few seconds, because that's quite a lot of extra damage. And you also have time to recover, heal back, do anything you need. One more. Perfect. That was close, but after Kefka recovers, it's the same thing. That you have to deplete, well, debuff those buffs, but after this Forsaken, I just want to heal back after this, but the second gauge is ice, so with my setup, Zag has Pressurage to debuff ice resistance, so I don't really have to worry about it with Matt. But otherwise just Nautilus with Matt and you can fully debuff it. Right, also at some point you have to also debuff that lightning gauge. So after you deplete this gauge, that you can do more DPS, but also on those trains I recommend switching to defense, because another Light of Judgment is coming and you want to be fully recovered before it hits you. And actually, yeah, let's just fully debuff it, because we are getting close. And of course, if you could deplete this gauge fast enough, then you will just stun Kefka much faster. Alright, a few more attacks. Alright, another overspeed. Because those attacks, they are quite annoying. But just after you get this stun, same thing. And no, I'm not going to use Gigantic Shield, because we are nearing the end of the battle and the ending is quite stressful. Kefka will bombard you with attacks that hurt quite a lot, so you really want to have guaranteed magic defense. So if you are below 70% HP, Deer players might not work, so you can do Gigantic Shield just in case, so you don't lose those buffs, because it would be annoying for one of your characters or your whole team to die just at the end. So Heartless Angel, now start recovering, and you have to do it really fast, because now he's already starting to attack you, so you really want that. Actually, yeah, let's use this. And now, already with this, we are taking much less damage. And let's see, because this Greater Light of Judgment, it will kill you. If you have Reprieve, you'll survive one attack, but second Greater Light of Judgment will come. So it'll be just extending the battle, but it is a DPS race at this point. This whole battle is a DPS race. Alright, let's debuff it again. And yeah, let's do limit breaks, because I'm not sure if I would have gotten it in time. But yeah, with this team, I lowered my physical attack a bit, but as you can see, it is getting very close to the ends. But yeah, it's I don't like Kefka. It is quite annoying battle, but at least we don't have to stack our HP to insane amounts, like 20,000 HP. It's one of those few battles, because lately most of those battles we need insane amount of HP, so it's the opposite here, and you really need mostly just DPS high enough. But yeah, I really hope you found my guide helpful, and just, I would say, don't panic in this battle, because I can imagine when you see you're getting hit and you're very low HP, you just want to heal. But here, when we have multiple times where Heartless Angel comes in just after this, then just don't panic, time your heals, and it'll be fine. But yeah, good luck on your own clear, and in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.